Legit Life Magazine. Today we have Miss Nicky Borden with us, aka Nicky Purple. Wears a number of different hats, advocate, liberator, motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, realtor. She does it all. She definitely exemplifies what legit life means as far as not letting your previous obstacles get in the way of your life, your success. Today we'll talk to Miss Nicky about where she's been, where she's at this point in her life, and where she's planning on going. Be on the lookout for her new book, Broken Crayon, Still Color. Miss Nicky, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So let's talk to the people some more today about where Miss Nicky Purple has been, where she's at present day, and where she plans on taking her brand.
Okay. Well, I could start from the time when I was a child. I was sexually molested by my cousin. And then at the age of 17, I was gang raped. And I felt very fortunate to be able to escape from that. Not Sometimes people don't escape from it. And being gang raped at such a young age, it was very confusing. I was lost. Really didn't know why it happened. Sometimes in life we do question, why me? Why did God allow it to happen? Born and raised in the church, I did have a conscience of God, and I knew that although I didn't understand it and I escaped from it, I knew that that was good enough to basically skip that step of being a victim. I said I survived it, and I survived it for a reason. And I got back on track, finished school. I became an entrepreneur when I was 18 years old. My mother and father, they were entrepreneurs into real estate, and my father was very fond of me just being a self-learning, teaching myself whatever it was. And if I wanted to earn money, we're very creative. We can create an idea, and from that idea, you can have money or earn money. So that stuck with me my whole life. I went from creating T-shirts to going to New York, which I know some of you guys can relate to. Getting the T-shirts, getting the shoes. You bring it back to wherever you at. You sell it for an extra couple of dollars, and it just went from there. So I did the T-shirts. I got into real estate, doing property management, doing short sales, small mom and pop shop, renovating homes, managing apartment buildings, units that were about 200 or more apartment units. And being African American and being a woman in real estate is very, very challenging. I find it that you have to prove yourself more,
Definitely.
which tends to be due to nationality. Even myself, sometimes me myself, if I need some work, I will, you know, I'll look at the companies and I will tend to ask us some more questions or
Definitely.
be a little bit resistant. So to be on the other side, it gave me the insight of, just what you have to go through owning a business and being African American. I learned a lot of great things from being an entrepreneur. I had the freedom. I have three children. Being a single parent, having that freedom was very, very important to me. Having three kids, they all in three different places all at one time. Have a traditional life. A lot of mothers can relate to that. We spend all our time after we get off from work, usually driving our kids different places. So you're a mother all day, but let's say after three, you become Uber
Gotcha.
with the free pass for a lifetime. So there's no code needed. Um, I enjoy being a mother. I'm at another place. My kids are 18 and 19. They're in college. Seeing them go off to college, you have to kind of pull back a little bit because you're so used to, no, you listen to me.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do. And even as a parent, I realize that I need them as much as we feel like they need us because we're learning from our children.
Yes, ma'am.
Every single day we learn from them. So um, I enjoy being a mother. I enjoy being an entrepreneur. That has led me to a gift of realizing that I can help other people achieve their
Definitely.
gifts. So that's where the consultation part of me or consultant part of me being a catalyst, helping small businesses set their business up or getting into someone who has an idea, and let's say they want to get their idea to Tyler Perry. I have some very strong relationships. So I have a real estate side of me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a music side of me doing artist development.
Okay.
And I've been a judge in a lot of music showcases. I actually have a dance group that I manage. That's Atlanta's going to see very, very soon.
Okay.
I really love dancing, so dancing is very passionate to me. And then you have the side of me pretty much trumps everything, and that's where I'm at right now with really falling in love and seeing my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
my calling. Um, why did I go through everything in
Yeah.
life? Why I never, why didn't I fall to depression?
Yeah.
You know, what makes me so different? Because I went through some extremely, what would you say? I went through some moments where things bothered me and all I had was me. So if God wasn't talking to me, nobody was talking to me. And in that quietness, you feel like you're by yourself. And you feel like nobody can relate to you. And you try to make yourself similar to other people. And then you realize in those 2 minutes of you
Mm-hmm.
trying to be like somebody else, you don't like it. This doesn't fit.
Definitely.
So I had to come to the realization that I was different on purpose, that I was set
Definitely. So.
apart on purpose, and it
And
was
it's
never meant for me to fit in.
definitely so. It's just crazy because just in the few minutes we were talking, you put out so much knowledge, so much motivation. Who a young lady or even a young man from the outside looking in could pick up from you. For
Absolutely.
one, being an entrepreneur, understanding that if it didn't work out, that doesn't mean it isn't for you. You just got to find your niche. And
Absolutely.
so to say you went from the t-shirts to the shoes
Mm-hmm.
to everything else you've done that didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to, you kept pushing. And it got you to a place where you became extremely profitable doing something you love.
Yeah.
And on top of that, being a single mother, single mothers could watch this today and grab so much inspiration from you because they're probably in that beginning stages and they're still trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
And as tough as it might be to be a single mother, they can look at someone like you and this lady is really successful. She's doing her thing and she's raising 3 children. That's just beautiful in itself to say where you came from to where you're at now. And so just a few minutes we've spoken, it's just so much someone can pull out of just listening to you talk. And so now let's get a little bit more into your purpose. What do you feel like your purpose is at this point, or what has been revealed to you as your purpose at this point?
Okay. I can say God is still revealing to me. I think as long as you are open, you're consistently, you grow. You're supposed to grow.
Definitely.
And right now, God has showed me I'm a liberator. Similar to Harriet Tubman, sometimes my friends call me the Harriet Tubman of 2015.
Yes, ma'am.
And definitely, I know that God wants me to lead people to freedom, and freedom means a lot of things. Freedom just don't mean the one where we're chained up. Freedom means a lot of things. Free in your thinking, free to do something that people typically don't do, free to be non-traditional, free in the fact that you can do more than one thing at one time. Certain people have several gifts. And you might say, well, you know what, my friend got like, man, he awesome, this dude can do everything. But he probably can do everything because he's using everything that God gave him.
Definitely.
And sometimes when we don't use what God give us, God doesn't allow us to use another gift.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how bad we want it or we practice it or whatever, it never comes together. So similar, like I said, to Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, I do have a big calling on my life. I think God preserves you for your gift. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm 40 years old and I don't look nowhere near my age. And I think that's because due to the type of gift that I have, it's for the youth. It's for adults. It's for men and women. I go into the jail sometimes. I deal with everybody from, as they would say, from the gutter to the mansion.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone, they're naturally attracted to me. And I don't have to have what other people have. I don't have to have an appointment. I can walk in right now, and excuse me for saying this, I can walk into AIB TV Network. And if you're here in Atlanta, you're familiar with that network.
Yes, ma'am.
And they will listen to me. I don't have to have an appointment. because they believe in me. And when you walk in who you are, people can see it. A mouth can say anything.
Definitely.
And I think that's why you have to sit down. And sometimes we're afraid to be by ourselves. Sometimes we say, you know what, I don't like being by myself, or you start to feel lonely.
Definitely.
But sometimes those moments of quietness and being by yourself, they're preparing you. They're showing you who you are and who you never was. But you did try it on just like a shoe.
Definitely.
I wear a size 6. But if I go into Macy's and I see my favorite shoe in a 5.5, I'll be honest, I'm gonna buy that shoe. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. The pinky toe hurt, but the shoe looked nice.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and that's what we do in life. So I have a gift that God has given me, use of my mouth, use of my words, and it's not just for you. It might not even be for you. It's for the person who you relate a message to.
Oh yeah.
So it's for people generations to come.
Definitely.
So it's an awesome gift.
Oh yeah, I can already tell, and that's why I had to reach back out to you just to help let you speak to these people, because the time we sat down in your office, I just got so much from you. Just being motivated to, man, I thought I went through something. This young lady has really been through something, and she's the definition of what my brand stands for. Just continuing to fight and continuing to get to that place. And it was funny, you were speaking a moment ago about God blessing who you are. So many of us now, we sit and we wonder, why aren't we getting blessed? Because God's not going to bless your image. He's not going to bless who you portray yourself to be. He's going to bless who you really are. And so until you really get into yourselves and pull out the gifts he's given you, he's not going to bless you to use them. And I was glad you brought that point up, because it's been on my mind. And for you to sit here and say it, it definitely is resonating with me right at this point. But let's talk a little more about the Nicky Purple brand and where you plan on taking it. Some of the things you have in the works. I know you mentioned your dance group coming out. What's next for Nicky Purple?
Wow. I like what. Wow. Sure, what I said. Nicky Purple is definitely my brand is definitely global, going international, and it's a very long roller coaster ride. And people are definitely gonna have to strap on their seatbelts, because the message I have, it's for everybody, all countries, all nationality. The message is a message of love, letting people know that right now, the very moment that they're in, they're whole, they're complete, and that they are still beautiful. I am an example. I'm not an explanation. I'm a living example. So because I'm an example, you can feel me, you can touch me, you can talk to me. I'm transparent, and I've been all over the world, and I have certain things I've tried that didn't work, but that did not stop me. I didn't say, okay, well, it's not meant for me to do this.
Definitely.
Thomas Edison, he never said it. Martin Luther King, he didn't give up. So if we just look back at some of the people who, even though we didn't know them, but generations before us, if they would have said, I'm tired, or I got to just focus on me and myself and my family, I can do that. I've been in tight situations where I should not be thinking of other people, but because I understand, going back to who I am, who are you? What is the vision for you? What does it look like? What is something that you love and you would do it totally free? And if you start asking yourself some of these questions, because I really don't believe, at the right time, in the right moment, then I'm going to do something, because honestly, it's never going to be a green light. We don't get green lights. And I don't believe in spare time, because we really don't have no spare time.
Exactly.
So you have to say to yourself, where do I want to go? When we get in our car, the number one app we use is GPS. Why is that? Why do we use GPS consistently? We don't even have no more data. We using GPS. We done went over in data because we're using GPS. We want to get there, and we want to get there quick. So with our life, it works the same way. If I don't know where I'm going, then I'll never get there.
Exactly.
So back to my purpose in leading. I'm not here to tell people what to do. I'm here to be light in a dark place. I'm here to say, watch out.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a hole 50 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
There's a detour. You might want to turn right now. And I can't even describe. To me, it's not even a word for it to describe how powerful our words are, because they're very powerful. Um, and depending on where you are at in life,
Mm-hmm.
your words can take you out of that place, that circumstance, that situation, that hardship. Yes, it does take money to pay a bill,
Mm-hmm.
but the way you react to things, if I react in anger,
It's probably gonna make the situation worse before it gets better.
absolutely, that's true. So that's the message. I want to go out and every day that this is what I want to do. I want to go. I want to travel the world. I want to go into the schools. I want to go into the jails. The jails are filling up really, really quickly.
Definitely.
Matter of fact, they're already full. They're building new jails, let me say it. They're building new jails right now because they're looking at numbers and statistics and projections.
Definitely so.
So I definitely believe one person can make a difference.
Definitely. And that's really what we want to do nowadays. Don't be afraid to step out on your faith. Don't be afraid to step out and do what you feel your purpose is in this world. Because what you may not know about Miss Nikki, she gave up an extremely lucrative real estate career to follow her passion as a liberator, as a motivational speaker, as a person of inspiration. And that lets you know, she's serious about what she does, because so many people nowadays are driven strictly by finances and the type of money you can make. And that's why you have so many people now in careers, yeah, they make a lot of money, but they're not happy at all because they're not using their true purpose in this world. And that's what I love about her. She put the money aside, put the fame aside here in Atlanta, being one of the top realtors, and she's building her own brand, what stands for what she truly believes in. And it stands for what my brand believes in, be different, be a leader. And that's why I love Miss Nikki Purple. But before we leave today, she's going to tell you a little more about her book. She's writing her first book, Broken Crayon, Still Color. That title in itself lets you know she's about to drop some real knowledge. You want to give them a little overview of what you got going on with the book?
Yes. Before I get to the book, I would like to say I have created an affirmation, Still Beautiful. I'm going to be using that affirmation consistently. Back to what I said a couple of times is I want people to know that just like we say I love you to someone that you love, still beautiful, is saying the same thing, but in a different way. And I think it's something that we need to hear. No matter where you're at in life, I don't have to speak the same language you speak, but just that energy of still beautiful. Michael Jackson traveled all over the world, and I didn't know until a couple of months ago, Michael Jackson never knew any other languages, but he performed in China and Japan, and they understood him.
That's dope.
So we have that same ability. Michael Jackson, I mean, he has the same thing that we have. And so Still Beautiful, it's affirmation, it's a movement, and that leads me to the book, which is Broken Crayon, Still Color. It's a story about a young woman, myself, who had a broken heart, not a broken life, a broken dream, but not a broken future. Someone who, similar to other people, had a lot of struggles, a lot of hard times, and even abuse, but I still remain still beautiful.
I love it. I love it. Do you have a release date for the book yet, or is it still in
Yes,
the works?
yes. The release date would be March 2016, and
Okay.
actually, my grandmother just passed away, so it's going to be released on her birthday,
Oh, wow.
so it can have more of a significant meaning.
Gotcha. Gotcha. There you have it. That's Miss Nikki Borden, aka Nikki Purple. Tell everybody where they can find you at: Instagram, social media.
Sure. My Instagram is the official Nicky, Nicky. I'm also on Facebook. Facebook, my name is Nicky Purple all together. Nickypurple.
Now when she blows up and takes over the world, make sure y'all tell her y'all seen her first on Legit Life magazine.